we're at your new gym. First of all, welcome Colin Nathan. Change of gyms, why, first of all?
Yeah, this is the new Hotbox MTK Africa gym. I was in Glen Hazel for 19 and a half years and I just felt that it was time to change. I'm also doing a lot of traveling and the gym is nearly double the size of the old facility. But I just needed a change, and it's great. The 2 rings are in, and yeah, we're nearly ready to run. It's great.
Let's get into a current event. You got Maruti Mtsalane coming up next. Talk to us about his fight.
Yeah, Maruti's in beast mode at the moment. We're looking forward to defending. This is the main debut with the IBF against Kuroda, and we leave on Sunday to go to Japan, Tokyo, and I'm very excited about this fight. I think Maruti's starting to get the recognition he deserves. He's one of the great fighters to come out of Africa and South Africa. So he's been training really hard and we're ready for Kuroda.
Let's talk about a talking point. Maruti's emission from Fighter of the Year, in your opinion, how does that go down?
You know, I don't know how the system works or how, the nominees and so forth. I can't comment. I don't know how they structure things. But the fact that Badla Teti and Mtsalane's name is not there, it's, like I'm saying, I can't comment because I don't know how the nominee structure, I don't know if, does it go according to votes and so forth, so I'm not sure, I can't answer that question.
Another one of your fighters is up for the award, Azinga Fuzile. How confident are you that he's in the running for this one?
Again, it's up to the panel for them to make the decision. Obviously he's my kid, so me giving my opinion is biased. But I think he deserves to be up there, and hopefully he wins the award.
Rumble Africa, who you've been working side by side with, advancing Azinga's career, has come out and said they are in negotiations currently with the Japanese boxer. What's your take and what's happening?
Well, at the moment, we at a stalemate with Mr. Honda. And today I believe is the last day for us to come to an agreement, and it will go to a purse bid if not settled by today. So there's been a lot of back and forth. I've been negotiating with Mr. Honda on behalf of Rumble Africa, and it's been a lot of cat and mouse, and we'll see what happens going forward. But I believe it will go to a purse bid now.
So this is the official eliminator, IBF?
For the number 1 position for Tevin Farmer, yes. And the plan was always, when I came on board, to work with Azinga for him to fight for the IBF World Championship, and we're very close now.
There was I did an episode recently, obviously maybe a potential super fight at middleweight. What's your comments on that?
I've been to Disney World, and it's a great way to escape reality. I just don't live in Disney World.
Is that it, just like that?
That's it.
What's happening with MTK? What's the moves for all the guys?
Something's brewing. Something big's brewing. The announcement should be in the next few days regarding one of South Africa's fighters. So very exciting, and obviously we're finishing up the MTK Africa gym for Hotbox gym. And there's a couple of other things brewing. Also got the IBF convention coming up shortly. So there's always something on the go for us.
Looking at the guys that you are managing but not training, guys like Inswanyabi.
Yeah, he's doing well. I was very impressed with his fight against Voy. A lot of people thought it was a step too far, and he really took Voy's head off, literally. And what I really loved about their fight afterwards is that the 2 of them are genuinely friends. They're hanging out in the dressing room, so there's no hard feelings. And that's what boxing is about. It made you feel good about the sport. But Inswanyabi is one of those kids who is developing and improving and nurturing. I'm looking forward to nurturing him and making him put another championship belt around his waist eventually.
For people that don't understand your particular role, because obviously MTK is a new thing for South Africa and Africa as a whole, what exactly do you do for the company?
So basically I head up Africa for them, and I've brought quite a few fighters onto the company books, and some of them are starting to get busy, some of them still need to get busy, and I plan on getting that done shortly. There'll be a big announcement in the next few days with regards to a South African fighter. But it's just growing and it's emerging, as I mentioned in one of the interviews that I did with you before, that MTK Global is the largest boxing management company in the world, and it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. We've got a great group of guys, great leader in Bob Yalen, and I'm just looking forward to the future. It's great. I want to make champions for the company. It's not good. No, everyone knows that.
More big news for the Nathan family. Another boxing person has got involved now. Well, in particular, Laura Nathan is now a promoter.
Yes, yeah, she's a promoter. I'm very proud of her, and it's just it's great to be. You know, she's the boss at home, and now she's going to be the boss pretty much in the business field as well with her. So I'm very proud of her. She's developing and she's learning, and I believe I'm a good teacher, although I don't promote. But I've been around the sport long enough to guide her and help her become successful.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of people sniffing around wanting to know what's going on. Is there anything you can release with regards to that, or should we rather...
No, I've got a couple of things up my sleeve, like I always do, which I can't let out the bag. You know, can't let the cat out the bag and so forth. But there's one or two things brewing behind the scenes. I'm always working behind the scenes, putting moves and so forth. So there's something coming up, but I can't disclose that right now, obviously.
How much room do you even have for new boxers that actually want to join your stable? I know this is a question that a lot of boxing gyms, particularly yourself, gets asked in their inboxes. Can I join your gym? How much space do you actually have?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Limited right now. The fighting has to be exceptional. Yeah, it's hard to get a balance. I travel a lot. I've got a lot of fights on the go, working behind the scenes, putting fights together, deals and so forth. So it's really difficult. But I have the right amount of fighters that I'm working with, and I feel that I'm coping. But I think 2 or 3 more, I wouldn't be coping. So I'm in a good space right now. I'm in a very good space.
A guy that left South Africa, DJ Creel, he became a world champion. He was on the verge of becoming a world champion just before he left. You still have involvements in his career. Yes. Talk to us about him. What's upcoming?
Yeah, I'm very proud of DJ. He's training with Kenny Adams. I am still involved with DJ. I have a partner looking after him that side. He's got his mandatory for the IBF. We're looking at July. Also, potentially on the undercard of a big fight. Can't talk too much about that. But yeah, he'll be active soon for his mandatory in the IBF. So looking very forward to him getting back in.
Quick comment away from your gym. Zolani Tete got injured. Unfortunately, he looked like he could have beaten Dene in this fight. Didn't happen. Where to from here for him?
It's going to be interesting because Joel Casemiro is the interim champ. I know that's going to happen now. He has to fulfill that obligation. I don't know. I'm not involved in the Tete camp. Very upsetting that he couldn't fight Done. It would have been a good fight. But inevitably, I don't know what's next for him, to be honest. I think he has to fight Casemiro as he has to forfeit his championship. So let's see what happens.
Hard question, perhaps. Simpiwe Konko, he's had a fight and it got, it didn't happen. He is literally on the verge of a world title shot.
He's going to get his WBC title shot this year. That's definitely going to happen. It's another thing we're busy working on. Menayothin's got a voluntary against a Japanese kid, and then after that we next. It's just a question of where, and hard to take him out of Thailand. But we are working on 1 or 2 things that potentially could be the case. And I don't want to talk too much, but inevitably, as it stands now, we're preparing to go to Thailand at some part of this year.
You've so obviously your assistant trainer Bussy, he's gathering a bit of a stature in his own.
Yeah, I'm very happy for him, and he's entitled to earn his power as a trainer, and he's doing exceptionally well. And I'm proud of him, and credit to him. I think he's a great trainer. I think he's one of the better guys. So.
Your guys that are from the Eastern Cape, guys like as we said earlier, Izinga is negotiating. Do you think it's likely that he fights again in the Eastern Cape?
Depends on how the bid goes.
But primarily at the world level, you have to travel anyway.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
Due to the South African economy, I get that, I understand that.
And you're prepared to travel and...
I've never been scared. I won 2 legitimate championships on the road last year. So,
Traveling as well comes with its downs as well, because you've got guys like Reino Liebenberg, whose record doesn't look as good as it should be. Yeah. And obviously... he's always gone to someone's backyard and try to beat the guys.
Well, that's because he's cleaned up this division. Who's going to beat him in this country? Only one person. He's cleaned up.
No, that's true.
The South African champion won't fight him, so maybe we'll put in a challenge for that. Yeah, he's the number 1 guy. Maybe we'll put in a challenge. Let's see how it works.
Talk to us about the Boyd Allen situation. First of all, he was joining you. It looks more like he's training with Vusi now.
So he's actually, his head trainer is Richie Kwan. Vusi is obviously assisting that situation and manning the corner. Boyd and I have got an understanding. Boyd, obviously, you've seen him in the gym, yeah?
Yes.
Trains and so forth. So I just don't want to interfere with that situation. And he's doing well.
Okay, from a pundit from the outside, your take on Brandon Sasa against Boyd Allen?
I think it's going to be a tough, competitive fight. I think Boyd's slippery, and he's unorthodox, which makes him very awkward to fight. Brendan didn't really look so good in his last fight. I think it's a real pick 'em fight, you know. I think Boyd's got the ability to frustrate Brendan, and I point him. And Brendan, I foresee trying to walk Boyd down. So it's going to be a contrast of styles, and I think it's going to be a very intriguing fight. Obviously, I'm favouring Boyd because he's with us, he's our guy, and Vusi and Richie are my friends, and I'm involved, you know, with Vusi obviously on a professional level as well. So I've got to back my friends. But it's going to be a good fight. Good fight.
Any other boxers that I haven't mentioned that deserve a mention, and anything that's particularly happening, or?
Yeah, I'm on the verge of securing something for Lerato Dlamini.
Beautiful.
Because he needs to fight. He's world class. 12th by the WBC. Moved up number 14 in the IBF. So we're looking to bring him back. He needs a fight. Kanyili Bolana as well. So there's always activity. Like I'm saying, I'm always working behind the scenes, behind my laptop, and doing things, as you know. So I don't stop for a moment.
Lastly, just thank you for having me again in the gym, and a message for everyone.
Yeah, just Hayden, this message to you. It's I'm sitting here because of the fighters that I work with. So inevitably, without them, you and I wouldn't be sitting here. But you're doing a great job with SA Boxing Talk. I mean, we started it 4 years ago. 2015. And we had an idea, and then you took it over, and look what you're doing. You're doing amazing things for South African boxing, and congratulations on your nomination.
First time, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so hopefully that goes nicely. And yeah, I mean, it's just great. I think South African boxing is buzzing at the moment. We've got legitimate world champions and world-class fighters, and guys are getting opportunities, and they're doing really, really well. Obviously, we need more fights and we need more activity. That's always going to be a problem within South African boxing. But it's just great to be part of the change. I think the change is happening, and it's happening before our eyes. And it's just great to be living in this change and contributing to this change. You're one of the guys who are young, and you're one of the leaders of tomorrow's boxing, and it's just great to be associated with someone like you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Cole.